So do these people like each other? That's the subject of today's video, and I want to start with this. This is Vivek tweeting out just yesterday a picture with him and Elon Musk. And again, I'll ask the question, do these people like each other? Musk has sort of got a, I don't know, half smile, half frown, depends how you want to look at it. And we'll call Vivek's a half smile, I guess you could say. And this is what it is, guys. You have all these people who are self-serving, they're selfish, and they're all in the same organization team, but they're all in it for themselves. As we already know, people are getting kicked off the boat. Vivek has been out at DOGE. This is the headlines here. Vivek Ramaswamy's rant about America prizing mediocrity over excellence reportedly upset Trump and factored into his exit from Elon Musk's DOGE. Also says here, Trump was reportedly, quote, privately unhappy with Ramaswamy's post, the New York Times reported, citing people close to the president, and was not thrilled with being dragged into a high-profile fight on the subject. Ramaswamy's screed was also criticized by Trump allies, including former White House strategist and right-wing media figure Steve Bannon. So a lot of people had it in for Vivek. Plus, Musk people didn't like him either, so he's on his way out. Vivek Ramaswamy quits DOGE cost-cutting program, leaving Musk in charge. So this was already a shaky alliance. Vivek is now out. There were reports coming that people didn't really like working with Vivek. There's a lot of friction. Musk was bringing his own people, and there just wasn't enough room for Vivek. So he's out. There are some people still in denial. It's a comment coming from a community from Mucho Longs. This is nonsense rumor. Nobody has concrete evidence of anything. About experience, what experience do you need to have common sense? All the experienced politicians, what have they done? That is great. I've never seen Vivek be stumped by a question before, and he never runs away from questions. I hate to break it to you, but Vivek is out. I'm sorry to say it. Guys, when I go through this stuff all the time, I just try my best to tell you everything. Everything was pointing to that Vivek was being pushed out. Some people still don't believe it. Now, this is from Vivek's own words, if you don't believe it from me. Vivek says here, it was my honor to help support the creation of DOGE. I'm confident that Elon and team will succeed in streamlining government. I'll have more to say very soon about my future plans in Ohio. Most importantly, we're here to help President Trump make America great again. Now, if you want to understand this kind of world, right, it says all these shaky relationships, have a take a look at this. See what you see.
This is a nice group, very smart-looking group, very nice.
We're having a conversation about you're going to open up the golden era for the United States.
This will be the golden era. We're going to do a good job, and you'll be very happy. We're going to do a very good job. Where's Kathy?
Kathy's right over here. Kathy?
Hello, Kathy. How are you? Congratulations. I heard you do a great job.
Oh, thank you. Talk about a great job. We're looking forward to your great job.
We had a
We're going to help you
very
as much as
successful
we can.
campaign. It's really been terrific. Great support. A beautiful mandate to do it right.
Absolutely.
So anyway, have a good time.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you.
Have fun.
So if you want to understand how this world works, you just saw it, right? Trump comes in the room, all these people shake Mr. Trump's hand. He's like, hey, nice job, nice job, nice job. But very few people actually get that much FaceTime with him. And to be perfectly frank, for someone like a Trump, he's just attracted to the attractive females in the room. That's how these people operate. Like they're not really that interested in business. They just want to be, is there a camera around? Am I going to be on TV? Is there any pretty girls here? And where's my KFC? And then goes back to watching Fox News. Like for people who think that Trump's some magical genius, I'm just showing you guys behind the scenes kind of look and how to think about it in terms of the real world, not some mythical god, that kind of thing. So for example, why are all these people trying to snuggle up next to Trump? Because he's signing all kinds of executive orders right now. Look at his desk. You can see it for yourself. Do you think he knows everything that he's signing? Do you think he has, fact checked, checked everything with his lawyers, et cetera, to make sure all the legislation, all the language is correct? Of course not, right? Remember, Trump's just like, okay, where are the pretty girls? Where are the cameras? Where's my KFC, right? That's sort of what he's doing. And so what happens is a lot of aides then sort of vie to position to get something on Trump's desk. And if you're curious, there's a movie called Valkyrie, which I recommend seeing. It's a Tom Cruise movie about World War II era, but it's all trying to get, your superiors to sign a particular order so you can carry out whatever plan that you have in mind. The same is true in this movie, 12/12 Today. These are all historically based movies, so do check them out. Again, it's all trying to get a president sign whatever order so you can get, done whatever you want to do, where the president they just want to go back to watching their Fox News. So one of the things that's going on right now is Elon Musk wants to do his DOGE thing, right? It says there will be meaningful progress every week. That's 14 hours ago. And I guess there's a executive action is what they're saying. It said Trump executive order officially establishes DOGE. Okay, 14 hours ago. So that was one of the many things that he's signing there. Vivek gets pushed out of this. That's what I'm saying, guys. These people don't like each other, and now they're fighting for power. And it's funny because, they're talking about cutting all of this, government stuff. And one thing that they looks like they're probably going to be cutting is benefits to Musk company Tesla and electric vehicles. This is the headline today: Trump to end EV mandate. What that means for Tesla stock? I'll tell you what it means. When you're ending subsidies for electric vehicles, the stock's going to go down. So all of the electric vehicle stocks were down today. And I know for some people who watch the channel, they just watch for the news. Other people just watch for the market. I try to do both. You have to pay attention to both, right? Because the things that the government, is doing, the things that government is subsidizing, not subsidizing, have a direct effect on your life. So just imagine, for example, you go to the auto dealership and, the dealer, the salesperson says, hey, if you buy the car now, the government's giving you special tax incentives. You're like, oh, how much? He's like, hey, $7,500. And then suddenly, oh, okay. It starts to sound attractive. You take that away, the cash, we'll say tax incentive, then suddenly, the price of the car is not so attractive anymore. And so this is sort of what's interesting about what's going on with the fight for all these people is they have multiple interests to juggle. In my opinion, as I said several times on the channel, I think clearly Musk is rotating away from Tesla off to do other things. I mean, you can just see it every day on what he tweets and who he hangs out with, etc. Like, for example, Musk is tweeting out just right now, we should expand consciousness to the stars so that we may better understand the wonders of creation. So he's talking about Mars exploration while he's also talking about cutting services that you need. That's what's going on right now. And it's very, what's the right word to say, very chaotic. Musk tweets out 13 hours ago, legit. And this is the establishment of his DOGE thing. Already they're getting hit with lawsuits. Musk tweets out 3 hours ago, can someone start a lawsuit counter? How long until we hit triple digits? And it's not just Musk getting hit with and Tesla getting hit with the lawsuits. Many of Trump's executive orders are getting hit with this stuff too. It's just too much, too quickly. A lot of this stuff hasn't been checked. And when if you're going to do a law and order, et cetera, you want to make sure all the language is not vague, that it addresses the stuff that you say it's going to do. And then also, like, have you run it by all the lawyers to make sure that it's legal? Much of what's going on right now is Trump is trying to expand his power of the president, right? Expand the executive office, test the limits of what he can and can't do. It's kind of similar to what Musk is up to. So these people are very similar. They try to go as far as they can until someone sues them, basically, or until they break something. And that's how they think of other people, right? You're kind of play toys to them. This is a description of it here. This, for example, it says, in a complaint obtained by the Washington Post ahead of its filing, the public interest law firm National Security Council says that the DOGE, that's the Musk thing, panel is breaking a 50-year-old law, the Federal Advisory Committee Act, that requires advisory committees to executive branch to follow specific rules on disclosure, hiring, and other practices. Basically, if you understand this stuff, when you hire, as a federal agency, which I don't even think DOGE is an agency, it's executive order, so that's it's under question. Okay, is this thing an agency? How are your hiring practices? How are your disclosures? Is everything transparent? Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right now, and it basically shows that they're trying to throw as much stuff out there as quickly as they can before anyone notices. But guys, we're all watching this stuff. It's all public, and this is taxpayer dollars, so you want to do things in a transparent way. The way that Musk's and Trump's want to do things, they're just like, hey, I just want to hire my friends. I want to hire my family members. I want to hire people that bribe me. I don't want anyone to, have any checks and balances on my power. That's what this is all about. Move things as quick as you can and hope no one checks your power. Check out this headline here. Trump announces DOGE advisory group attracting instant lawsuits. I think there's 4 at the moment, I believe. It's quite a lot. First lawsuits against Trump amid target DOGE. On top of that, this is actually really interesting. If you go back in history, Reagan tried to do this kind of stuff before. This is back in 1981. You can see the headlines here. And it says Reagan orders cuts of $3 billion more in spending for 82. If you lived through this era, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, because I guess Reagan tried to do this sort of, advisory council committee thing before. This is what they were saying back in 1981. It says President Reagan today ordered $3 billion to $6 billion in additional budget cuts after he was informed that his advisors had underestimated the growth in federal spending for fiscal year 1982. That kind of captures the same sort of stuff that we are talking about today. Is when you try to do too many things too quickly, you're not checking everything to be careful on your language. You're not checking to see what kind of implications that the things you're doing have on just regular people. You frankly are too reckless, and you start breaking things that people need, and then you start messing up with everyone's calculations. Let me give you an example, okay? Because I know there's a lot to go over, but just let me give you an example. So this says here, Donald Trump threatens 25% tariff within days for Mexico and Canada. So I guess he wants to do a tariff. It's starting, I think it's going to start February 1st. So it's like, a week from now, something like that. Now, you have to understand is when you're blanking, put it blank, okay, everything from Mexico, everything from Canada, 25% tariff, is there's a lot involved with this, right? Did you really think this stuff through? So from Canada's point of view, for example, this is from Trudeau. He's like, we're a big trading partner. This is the actual quote. It says, Canada provides many of the necessary inputs that the American economy is going to need. And this is what they list. So just for example, you're looking at energy, critical minerals, fertilizer, and uranium. and plus you have like, not just energy, but you have things for home construction, food, like all these essentials come from Canada. Similar stuff from Mexico. And this goes back to when Trump is, signing all this stuff in this massive flurry. All these staff members are fighting to get stuff on Trump's desk. Is this stuff being checked by anyone, right? And is any of this stuff even legal? And so that's why you got this crazy amount of lawsuits. And if they even do get anything passed through, it'll have massive global implications. And already other countries are threatening to fight back. It's just, it is crazy chaos. That's the best way to put it. It's hard to go through every one of these things. Like for example, they're going to want to mess with the birthright citizenship, and already 18 states are pushing back against that. You can see the headlines: 18 states ACLU fight lawsuits against Trump order that seeks to end birthright citizenship. Is essentially if your parents were illegal. But you were born in USA and you've only lived in USA. English is your first language. It's the only country you've ever known. Would you remove their citizenship? That have massive implications. I'll probably go to the Supreme Court, that kind of thing. How do you hire and fire employees? Generally speaking, like again, it would say the federal jobs, you want a lot of transparency, this kind of things. Or how are we going to do government contracts? Do you want transparency? This kind of stuff. There's a big fight for a big pool of money. Trump is signing all kinds of stuff. And if you understand like Trump's point of view, he comes into a room and he's got his people to tell him what to do. And he's just like, okay, where are the cameras? I want to smile for the cameras. He wants to produce his TV show, right? This is not about effective legislation for him. It's about effective TV show entertainment. And it's obvious sort of everything that this administration is already trying to do. On top of that, you have this. Then you have their own personal problems, right? So, for example, this just came out today. A former Tesla employee is suing the company, saying he was completely blindsided by its RTO policy, that's return to office policy. So you have these personal dramas along with the government dramas, along with people trying to cut things that you need. Or you have this. Tesla brand value shed $15 billion in 2024. With the aging lineup, Musk at helm, researchers found. And the question for any of these kinds of people, right? And I think this picture captures everything today, is how much money do you really need, right? How much more power do you really want? And why are you trying to do all these things when you can't keep track of even just one thing very well, right? You're incompetent that way. Why are you trying to do 100 things all at the same time? And this is where I think a lot of these advisor people that are, again, close to Trump, close to Musk, they're trying to pass all of the sneaky, shady stuff all at the same time. And this is sort of why we have to keep track of it together. My point of view on these things is I think ultimately, this is sort of why I wanted to show you this picture in the beginning. Ultimately, I think there's going to be a lot of fragile friendships here. And when people don't get what they want right away, the how can you say, the claws are going to start to come out, and you're gonna see a lot of backstabbing. I think very much so. And there, ultimately, who will be the final rose and who will make it through the 4 years? Well, that's why we watch this every day. I don't even know, because these people are so untrustworthy. And this is, I mean, you can see for yourself, right? It's filled with a bunch of sort of like half smiles, half frownies, and relationships based on what can you do for me? That's what all these people think about. What can you do for me? And it's not really great if you're trying to run, the country in a way that serves the regular person. You don't want that kind of, leader that's like, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? You want the leaders that are there to serve you. And these people are clearly not that. So that's my thoughts on this stuff. I want to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.